Right, just a quick update on the old Plymouth. I have finally I've been working the last couple of days on the rear seat, getting the back and the seat cushion all tore off the old frame and cleaned up the frames, and I reused the burlap and some of the original padding, and then I added new padding, and I finally have it done and installed. So I think it turned out pretty good. I still have, it's kind of dark, you can see over there, but there's a side panel on each side I've got to do. There's an armrest that fits down in there I've got to do. And I've got to do the package tray behind the seat. But that stuff's all easy compared to this. So, got that all done up finally. That makes me feel pretty good. So, the next thing I've got on the agenda is I do have new brake shoes coming for the front. I have a kit that has all 3 brake hoses and new wheel cylinder cups and all that good stuff. So hopefully I can clean up and hone out the wheel cylinders and reuse the cylinders and just rebuild them. The kit also includes a kit to do the master cylinder. I'm still thinking on what I want to do there yet, if I'm going to keep the old master cylinder or do something a little different. I did not get brakes for the rear axle because that rear axle is not staying. We're going to yank it out of there, and we're going to put in a early 90s Jeep Cherokee rear end in it. That'll give me some better gearing, updated brakes, and just be a lot easier to work on. From what I've been reading and checking out, the width for the spring purchase and everything is almost identical. So I think that's the route I'm going to go. You can do an early 90s Ford Explorer rear end. But I don't think I want to put Ford parts on this thing. So we'll keep it Chrysler-ish. So we're working on getting a rear end to replace that. And I have decided, I was kicking around the idea whether or not to do a chassis swap or just upgrade different motor and stuff. Remember, this flathead 6-cylinder is the original. It's got a dead cylinder. I have not checked out to see why, whether it's just a stuck valve or what's going on, because I've been doing all this other stuff. And I've been thinking that I was going to repower this with something different anyway. And I am. I've made up my mind. I don't want a hot rod. I just want a nice cruiser. So I'm going to get a 4.3 liter V6 Chevy. And that's what we're going to put in for a drive for a motor. And we're going to do a 700 R4 transmission, which I just picked up a transmission today for $100. It'll have to be rebuilt. It's the earlier, like an 83 model. So it's got a 27 spline input shaft, which is not as desirable as the later ones that have a 30 spline input shaft. But this thing's not going to be seeing super horsepower or anything. I just want a nice cruiser that we can run down the road with. So that's what we're going to do. But for now, this thing does run and move on its own. It tries to stop. This wheel keeps locking up because I believe one of the brake shoe liners is off and it gets bound up. But you move it back and forth a couple times and it rolls. So I've been driving it around the yard and up and down the street a little bit with very little to no brakes, but I've been doing it. So that's what our next thing is going to be, more than likely, is working on brakes on the front end. Hopefully the brake shoes I got will work. And hopefully I can rebuild the wheel cylinders and keep them and not have to buy more of them. But we'll see once we get into that. So that's probably going to be our next video that we do. For now, I'm going to take a break from things. I'm happy where I am with the seats. I will work on getting, this is one of the side panel pieces. There wasn't much left of them, but this one's a good pattern that I can use to make the side panel pieces beside the seat for the back. And this is what is left of the armrest in the back. I've got one that I can make a decent pattern out of. So we'll get them tore apart and cleaned up. I am still working on, I've got to make a cover for the driver's side armrest. So I'm working on it. But for now, I'm going to take a break from things. And we'll probably, next time you see things, we'll probably be doing the front brakes. So anyway, that's it for now. Have a good one.